All right, guys, we're going to be talking about ideas for superior asset selection and a tool in the crypto space. So let's get into it. Making these videos also to educate you on a style of trading and particularly how to trade our system. Some of you guys are already trading it. Some of you are interested in to do it and doing it. And I'm also going to talk about, to me, what the next evolution might be or the next thing to test. So if you look at the system, it looks super complicated behind the hood, and it is, but it's very simple to trade because of the way it spits out, and there's not that many rules. Usually when I test a new thing, I find it's not worth doing. So a lot of these things were tests of things, and it's not really worth doing. That said, some things still need to be tested, and I'm going to talk about what that is. We're also going to get into asset selection. Here we have how it's currently trading Bitcoin, Solana, and ETH, roughly. Now, asset selection. So, my current reasoning is I want to trade the assets that have the longest history. Stay with me, they have the longest history and the best performance. It makes sense, right? So, for instance, let's go look at gold. Gold has, let's look at the overview, an amazing back test, and it goes back to when's the first trade the system placed? Looks like 1951. So it's going back 70 years, 80 years, 70, 80 years. So we can expect it to continue to work in the future. Now I like just trading Bitcoin and maybe ETH Solana because Bitcoin's got the longest history and it has the best performance. However, there's a couple problems here. The first problem is you take something like ETH, which begins to really underperform. It's no secret, ETH has really underperformed. Solana made a new all-time high. Bitcoin's well above all-time highs. ETH well under all-time highs. I think a lot of people are waiting for it to move up, but the truth is that I don't know about you guys, I used to use the ETH chain. The only on-chain thing I really do commonly is transfer USDT. But the fees are less and it's faster to do it on Solana. So I've moved my on-chain activity from ETH to Solana. And I know that other people are doing this. And this could continue. I think it's possible that ETH isn't here in 50 years. Where maybe Bitcoin, maybe Solana, BNB are. I don't know. But it's been relatively weak. And how do I get my system to stop trading it if there's other ones? And if I just trade the ones with the longest price history, I end up missing certain overperformers, which is fine, but I'm just thinking how can we catch them? So one of my thoughts is, and I was talking with a trader recently who had this idea, but it also goes back to Nicholas Darvis, how I made $2 million in the stock market. He did this in the 1960s. What he did was he took he during the bear market, he looked at the assets that declined the least and chose to trade those to the long side during the bear market. So that doesn't necessarily work for Solana because what? It had one of the worst performances during the bear market. It actually went down 96% and then made it all back. It's insane. That's so crazy. That said, that said, um, so one of the ideas is to look at relative strength. So I found this tool. It's a heat map scanner, a relative strength scanner. So we can set it on the longest time frame they have available, which is a month. Set it at top 100. It shows you which coins are the strongest. We have XRP and we have Ohm as the two best. We've got Flow as the worst. I'm just curious. I'm going to look at Flow. And I'm going to talk about my idea for how to use this tool. Yeah, look at this. It's just been dumping. So my idea is we wait for some months where, or at least a month where the market is down. So we look at the total crypto market, right? And we know, okay, it was down in August, right? It was down over the summer, over this period. So during this period, we can study, we can look which are the coins that are the strongest during this period. One of them was Ohm. During this period, it did have a decline in August, but during this period, it was really outperforming the market, and I believe it would have showed up on the RSI heat map. Now, trading our system, okay, it doesn't look so good except until you consider that we have um, positions open. Going to put on 200 moving average filters, which generally I think are good. So here we've got 134% return on 42% drawdown. However, it's not accounting that these two trades are open. Interesting. Just for the sake of knowing where our equity stands, I'm going to put TP at 10 on our dip buy. It's at 25 right now. I'm going to put it at 10. Didn't hit actually. Put it at 9. I want to know what the floating equity is, and this is a way to do it. Put it at 8. Okay, now we look weird. I guess it, okay, that's confusing to me. %136%. Let's put this back to 25. Okay, it didn't really change. I see, I think it, I don't know, it's whatever. Anyways, point is, during the summer, when we see the market's down but Ohm is up, we filter and say, hey, we're going to trade Ohm, and therefore we're going to take these two trades. And we're just going to be happy. What does a 10 ATR stop loss look like? Something like that. Okay. So that would be one example. Another example would be Tron. Let's look at Tron. Tron is another one that's was showing relative strength. It's kind of coming down, but Tron is one that showed a lot of relative strength during those summer months. If we come back and look here, it actually was up during August when the market was down. So that filter could be, hey, we're gonna trade Tron because it's passing the filter. We wouldn't necessarily trade it in July, but once it's outperforming here, maybe we take this signal right here. And it actually hits 25 RRTP. So we buy here and we hold. And it gets TP'd on this day right here. Okay, it doesn't look good overall. However, in theory, we would only take these trades at overperformance. What's going on here? The settings doesn't look great overall. Just curious. Is this filter good? I mean, there's not much to change. It just didn't work great. It's just an idea that I'm still fleshing out. What was another one? Well, XRP didn't show relative strength before its move up, as far as I can tell. Um, let's look at SUI. I want to find data that goes back further, but I mean, it looks like this also would have worked. Like, August was a green month, so it might have been okay. And then there's a breakout in September. Trading this would have been ridiculous. So that's my idea. And then one other idea, this is something that we're going to come back and test. But right now, it TPs at 25 RR or it just advances the stop. So it's just advancing the stop, advance the stop, advance the stop, advance the stop. I'm interested for protection at the end of periods to TP on a failed breakout. So what would that mean? The problem is it would have meant a TP here. Well, it maybe would have meant a TP here though. But it would have meant a TP on this day, but maybe could have re-entered. Would have meant a TP here. But it would have meant the whole position would have gotten stopped out on this day right here instead of here, which is significant. And it still would have taken at least this breakout and closed it up there. So that's really interesting to me. Let's look at other trades. This one would have closed right here, which is my concern is what price is doing right now, possibly. We're going to look at it. So there is an age filter on the levels. So this one would have TP'd here and then re-entered. These levels are too old, nothing would have happened. Yeah, I don't know that it's good. It would have TP'd here potentially. Um, it also would have TP'd here instead. I don't know. I can't backtest it manually. I need a computer backtest it. And it would, there's certain times, right? It would lead to TPing here and here, like especially here would have been a TP. But here's where it would have been tough, because we had this big move up here, where it would have triggered TP here. But the point is, I want to know, like, when this shit happens, I don't really like it, but I want to computer backtest it. Does it make sense to get out when price wants to do this? Look at Bitcoin price history. It would mean TPing up here on this day right here potentially. all these things instead of having to stop here. And you re-enter here anyways, so I like that. The problem though is it would have meant TPing these right here, and then it wouldn't have re-entered and caught this monster move. So that's not okay. Actually, hang on. For Bitcoin, I know people are gonna say it's over optimized. And I don't know, it's already at 100. Okay. No, I want it to be at 100. And you're right, maybe it is. I'm changing something. Okay, it doesn't make any effect here. It wouldn't have helped up here. Wouldn't have affected anything here. Here it could have potentially triggered exits, but again, that's looking back too far. And we wouldn't want to just exit here. This one. So this would have triggered a TP. If we had it, it would have triggered a TP on this day from buying here, which would have been an improvement. But here it would have had us buy here and then TP here, which is actually ended up being almost exactly the same as what it did. No, similar. Look. It would potentially help. Again, the look back period's pretty long. I think there's something here, but need to know. This is what I'm talking about. Need to get it computer tested. Right. Here's one where it would have been like we would have TP'd on this day right here at the top. And then this whole move as well, we would have gotten out here and taken a smaller loss. Wouldn't have affected any of that. Maybe we would have gotten out here and then this position that rides all the way to 60,000 wouldn't have happened. So I don't know, it's probably worse. But I think it's interesting. Something I want to test at the least. Anyways, appreciate you all. Thanks for being here with me. Talk to you guys soon. Much love. Peace.